G'day everyone. Well, that moment has arrived. This is the number one album in my top 20 countdown, and people that know me well will not be surprised in the least when I announce what it is. It is my favourite band of all time, Rage Against the Machine, and the album I've chosen is their self-titled debut, which was released on November the 3rd, 1992, to be very specific. I think that should be marked down as a public holiday, such as the importance I attach to this record. What an incredible band, Rage Against the Machine. I certainly came to them in unorthodox circumstances. I was a part-time record reviewer when I worked on the Sunday Age. Their debut came across my desk. I didn't know anything about them. I took it home, listened to maybe 10 or 15 seconds of a few tracks and thought, hang on, this is rap. I won't be interested in this. Chucked it on the back shelf. Ended up hearing Killing in the Name, the massive single off this record, and thought, yeah, it's pretty good. But for whatever reason, I didn't really revisit the album. Then I heard Bomb Track, the opener, which, as its name suggests, really packs a punch. And I like that too. But it was probably only when I saw them perform at the Big Day Out at the Showgrounds in Melbourne in 1996 where I just stood there for the entire performance going, wow, what have I been missing out on? Raced home and chucked on the CD again and just thought, wow, what have I done the last couple of years? This is incredible. And you know what? All those years later, it's nearly 30 years later, it still has that impact on me. They did some great stuff too, Rage. I thought their follow-up album, Evil Empire, The Battle of Los Angeles, even the covers album they did, Renegades, all fantastic records. I probably just put this one marginally in front, A, because it's a debut by a band that had been in existence for probably only around a year when they recorded it. Quite remarkable, really. And just the power of those tracks as the first statement in a career. It also has perhaps an accessibility which maybe the subsequent albums don't have quite the same degree of. And that is, look, it's angry, it's fierce, it's political, but most of the time on this self-titled album, such is the I guess catchiness of the rhythm section. What a great rhythm section it is too. Bass player Tim Comerford and drummer Brad Wilk. That funk rock rhythm section underpinning the sound. It's infectious, and I think in a lot of ways quite listener and radio friendly. The lyrics probably aren't very radio friendly, to be honest. There certainly is a lot of expletives dropped in this record. But an incredible combination of musos. Zach De La Rocca, the dreadlocked, angry lead singer who just threw himself around the stage during live performances and has a voice which just pierces through. It cuts through anything. You're never in any doubt about what he's got to say and the force with which he's saying it. Tom Morello, a guitarist who gets the sorts of amazing and unique sounds out of that instrument that I've never heard any guitarist get or even try to get. I mean, he just tapped into a part of the instrument that no one had before. Like I said, the rhythm section, tight as a drum. It's a perfect combination, and it ends up fusing a variety of musical styles. You've got the rappy vocals, you've got that funk rock type rhythm section, you've got the discordance and the almost new agey sound at times of Morello's guitar, and it fuses all those styles. And this is the biggest testament of the lot to this band and this album. I'd never heard a band prior to this sound anything like this. And a bigger statement, I've never heard any band subsequent to this sound like this. Yeah, sure, there have been some potential imitators, but they never even scratched the surface of what this sound is, such as its power. Look, if lyrics here go, and you can take this band just musically if you like. Pretty hard to do that, though, when they're banging over the head with the lyrics, which are potent, powerful, and very intelligent. They sing about a variety of subjects. De La Rocca, very invested in the cause of the Zapatista movement in Mexico. A song like Take the Power Back, a searing indictment on the US education system and its whitewashing of history as it applied to various racial groups. Bullet in the Head, probably my favourite track, definitely my favourite track, which uses the bullet in the head, is an analogy for the power of television to, I guess, push propaganda and to prevent people from really thinking deeply about issues. We're talking about government there, we're talking about corporations. But just sonically, that song, it starts off as a bit of a funk / rap song, and that's good in its own right. But about halfway through, after about 3 minutes, it just absolutely explodes into a couple of minutes of the most potent sounding, angry, energized rock music I've ever heard. Never, ever, ever tire of hearing that song. The thing about Rage is everyone, I guess, typecasts them as an angry band, and they are angry. But there is also, I think, a positivity about their message, because it's not just complaining about the situation, it's urging people to act, to take action, to be part of the movement. You might think that's a bit cliched. We can certainly do with a lot of that attitude now, and hasn't been lost on me with Rage in 2020 announcing their intention to tour when that is possible. It is a movement that might be tapped into on a very mass popular scale again. Like I said, a unique sound no band has come close to emulating for me. After Bullet in the Head, you've got Know Your Enemy. Wake Up, as a song a lot of people would know, was used in the movie The Matrix. Starts off with a very Led Zeppelin-ish, Kashmir type riff, but goes in a lot of directions after that. An absolutely incredible middle break in that too. Fistful of Steel, another of my favourite tracks, Township Rebellion, and then finishes off with Freedom, which was a clip that also got a fair bit of airplay on TV. And that song, the last track on the album, finishes with Zach's vocals just going to a new level, just the guttural roar that he's capable of emitting for a pretty small bloke is quite amazing. And the sarcasm and cynicism inherent in his delivery of freedom, yeah, right. And you could say that about this whole album. It packs a wallop. It's intellectually, I think, on a high plane. I think musically, it's on an even higher plane. And I have never listened to another album that has that same impact on all parts of my being, in the chest, in the head, and in the feet, because it really makes you want to get up and jump around. And, I don't know if it's called dancing, but every single time I ever listen to this record, I just want to take on the world. No wonder a lot of sportsmen use this as motivational music. It stood the test of time. It's nearly been 30 years now since this came out, and it still sounds as fresh as the daisy to me. Every track is a winner. Every track you can put on immediately grabs someone's attention with it. And again, in a way that has never been recaptured by any band subsequently. There's been no shortage of those who've tried, but they're never going to match these guys. They are a musical tour de force. And look, I love a lot of records, and these are very subjective statements, but if I had to pick one album to play only that album for the rest of my life, this would be it. I might be a bit drained by the finish of it, but boy, I'd be happy, and my eardrums would be ringing with that very happy ringing that goes on when you hear some loud and incredibly passionate rock music. This album is it. Rage Against the Machine, self-titled, from 1992. Well, there's my top 20 albums. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you didn't hate them all. If you want to see some of the others in this series, you'll find them right here. They're all up there posted over the last couple of weeks. Thanks for your company during this series. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. I'll see you later.